It's been nearly 10 months since an illegal daycare center was raided by the state and local investigators in Morristown.
The operator of the center was never charged since no child was harmed, but parents lobbied for change.
In an update tonight, WATE 6 on your side investigator Don Dare reports that changes have now been made.
That's right, Bo. The changes won't affect the outcome of last year's raid, but it will protect children in the future. Under present law, to charge someone with neglect at a daycare center, there has to be proof of a child's physical abuse. The old law has now been revised. Added are amendments that address a child's emotional and mental health, as well as an amendment dealing with unlicensed operators.
I'm trying to call all these mamas and your mama too.
In July of last year, Children's Services investigators said April Barnard was operating an unlicensed daycare operation.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When they counted, 36 children were in her care, plus another 2 of her own. And even though 23 children were crammed into a single-car garage, the local district attorney could not bring any criminal action against Ms. Barnard.
Under the criminal law, in order to prove a criminal charge of child neglect, we had to prove actual harm. And DCS actually made a finding in their investigation that there was no actual harm.
The House of Representatives of the 112th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee now in session.
In Nashville, members of the House and Senate last week approved new amendments to Tennessee's daycare regulations. Direct reference was made to the Morristown Daycare Center, where DHS investigators and sheriff's deputies were directed to 10 months ago.
There's a lot of horrible video and audio that came out of this. Essentially, this unlicensed facility was warehousing children in the basement. It was literally a garage. And because there is no provision other than for physical abuse in our current law, this lady could not be charged with anything.
House Bill 2583 and its companion Senate bill were passed unanimously. The amendments add teeth to the protection of children in daycare centers.
This bill would change that. It would create where adverse effects on the emotional and mental health and welfare of a child would be also considered.
I'm very pleased. It's great to know that they took everything so serious when we took it to them.
Brenda Gilliam was in the state capitol last week when the bills were passed. For months, she lobbied her local legislator, Rick Eldridge, for change.
23 inside of that one-car garage, yes. From the ages of 4 months old to 4-year-olds, there were nonverbal children, special needs children.
Mrs. Gilliam was one of several moms who spoke with us in February. Each one had their child inside Miss Barnard's daycare center and said they were never allowed downstairs.
I have never, 16 years doing this job, have I ever saw anything like this.
Investigators were not the only ones emotional. Parents were outraged when video of conditions was released in January of this year. Several moms encouraged the state to adopt tougher regulations for overcrowded in-home daycare centers. For unlicensed daycare facilities, what difference will these changes make?
If you have more than 4 children, you can face a felony offense, and there is a fine, and there could possibly be jail time.
In this permanent injunction filed last August, daycare owner April Barnard admitted to no wrongdoing, but agreed to stop watching more than 4 unrelated children without a license and agreed to never interfere with any inspection by DHS. Now, the revised law takes effect July 1st of this year. In the meantime, apparently the investigation by the Department of Children's Services continues. Parents whose children were at the center last July tell us they're currently being interviewed by DHS. Some of the moms said they're being asked questions about supervision at the Morristown Center and what kind of emotional distress their kids may have experienced. To date, the center is operating under the law. There have been no further violations.